Worst case scenario for Angus would be the worst, of course, that he ends up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. You wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Dad, you can come around this way.
And feeling down here, is that sore?
It's a little bit.
He's got slight tenderness in his neck, so they're going to take some x-rays. So hopefully it'll be all right.
You always get a bit of a shiver down your spine when you hear it's a young kid that may have had a suspected spinal injury.
We got to him on the water's edge, laying down on his back, complaining of pain in the middle of his back.
Yeah, just on his boogie board in the surf with 3 of his mates. And he's catching the last wave in his aid so he could go home for his birthday party. And it just dumped him and, hurt his back. So they're going to take some x-rays.
The poor dad is probably thinking, what do I do if it's sad news? The last thing you want to do as a father is see your son in a wheelchair or suffering.
So you're 11 today?
Yeah. Did you get a birthday present? Yeah. Yeah.
You're expected to move on, get straight back into the job, and your thoughts are still with the patient you've just dealt with. It's a hard task to switch back on to normal work again.
Angus, how are you going?
Okay.
So the x-ray of his neck looks perfectly normal.
It's good news, so they're very happy about that actually. They're just going to keep him here for an hour and monitor what's going on, and then I think we can go home. So a good result, I think.
And Angus, before you go, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Angus. Happy birthday. Thank you. Not a rushing.
The feedback was all positive. Angus would be having many more birthdays, swimming, surfing, all of the above.
Amongst the lifeguards, it's been the modern day baby boom and it's changed us all. Good boy.
Are we going to have cuddles on board?
Yeah.
It's not all about them anymore. You know, they're running back and forth between work and training and little ones, and it's really cute though. They can't help but be proud, and I think they have a lot more empathy for parents now.
Oh, stop eating the sand, mate. You're not allowed to eat it. Come on, let's go get in the waves. I think it's really important living in a country like ours to get them swimming lessons as soon as they're comfortable in the water. You want them to be able to look after themselves, and that's what I hope for him, to be able to enjoy the beach.
Oh, Daddy forgot your bubble.
Oh, Mum, you'd get cross.
Today's Billy's first day of dunking his feet in the water. There we go. Whee! You've just been baptised. Yay, the first wave. If I had it my way, I'd have him out on the board right now.
I think the dad's going to have to be really, really careful. So you don't want to freak them out too young. They're all so good in the water, they're going to expect, no, it's fine, it's fine.
His first surfboard. Thank you so much, mate. Woo! There we go. Here comes a wave.
Reese is a really proud dad. Gets up with me, changes the nappies. It'd be good if he's like his dad and he's good in the water.
If my son doesn't like the ocean, that's okay. He might find other hobbies out there that interest him, but deep down, it would kill me.
Hoppo and I are watching a whole lot of people in backpackers as we normally do. It's a small southerly swell. Still got a pretty strong whip running through there.
When people come down the beach to swim, you don't really know their ability. But when it comes to kids, we need to be extra vigilant. There's 60 kids drown every year around Australia. We don't want that to happen to Bondi.
We noticed this little girl and she drifted out in the rip just down here in front of the tower, and she was going quickly. I strip off and I start going in for this little girl, and as I hit the water, I hear... Papa and I are watching these people down at backpackers just sort of pouring in there, and then we noticed this little girl, and she drifted out in the rip just down here in front of the tower, and she definitely wasn't making any headway. I heard one of the local guys, Burnsy, say, Bobby, it's okay. It's my little girl and that. She's all right, you ready? He'd been watching the whole time, and he didn't seem to be too concerned.
You don't want your kid to get into trouble. You just want them to get in. If they're in a situation where they can't stand or they're in a current, they've got to learn to swim back across the current rather than against the current, which is probably an important lesson for everyone to learn.
It's tough school. I've still got a job to do, and it's not going to look good for me if I just watch her and something does happen, and then, then I've got to live with that as well.
It was a very small surf day, so I didn't perceive there to be any risk, but I can understand the lifeguard's perspective. It was deeper to the north and there was a bit of a current going.
And I think Dad was trying to teach her a stern lesson, a bit of old school medicine, like teaching the hard way. Didn't scare her, she's going back in, so all good.
If you want to be good in the ocean, you have to test yourself. But when you're young and you're a kid, you can come unstuck.
You can't buy experience, you can't get experience out of a book. It's all about turning up at the beach and taking on the conditions from day to day and knowing your limits.
Just be careful, there's still a strong current pulling out here.
I noticed a kid waving his arm about and a surfer who's sitting next to him sort of holding him up.
Down the back of North Bondi Surf Club here, have a look guys with the binos.
Yeah, it's his surfer helping the swimmer. He's definitely calling for help.
Looks like it's a kid, eh? I'm just going to jump in the north corner. I made the decision to drive straight past where the kid was and go right to the north end.
The surfer's throwing his arms up. I think the surfer's just losing it that you drove down the north end and thought you were bailing.
The reason I did it is because there's quite a strong rip in the north corner and we use the rips to our advantage and not get hit by any of the bigger waves and get across to him quicker. We do tend to have a little bit more urgency with kids only because they don't have the life experience as an adult, so their panic will set in a lot quicker.
Oh, gone.
Oh, mate, I did well.
Boys, I'm back on the rock.
What was wrong with that kid?
Got a little bit overwhelmed out there. He said he got swept off the bank. He was all right.
I'm from Bondi, but I'm a junior lifesaver, but I just got hammered out there. Because one of the waves, I just got tumbled under and I ended up swimming towards the sand. And then when I tried getting back up, I was like almost out of breath.
Kids are some of our biggest customers down here at Bondi. We get everything from kids going missing, they come up with injuries. They get blue bottle stings. They cut themselves.
Give me right, Cam. Bit clumsy.
Kids down here, they definitely keep us on our toes.
When I was a kid with my twin brother, we were always up to mischief and mayhem down at the beach. So it makes sense to me to see kids do the same. No matter what a kid's done or how many rules he's broken down here, kids are just the greatest thing ever, and all the lifeguards they'll do anything to help a kid out.
So thanks to Maxi.
Chapo's in. The South Corner is definitely the most dangerous spot on the beach. For some reason, I've been spending a lot of time down there.
Chapo's Corner.
Dimitri's a Bondi local. We consider Dimitri a friend of all of the lifeguards.
There's someone falling off the top.